Leadership law number 11. The law of the inner circle. A leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. In 1981, I received a marvelous offer. I was given the opportunity to become the leader of Skyline Church in San Diego, California, the largest church in my denomination. The church had a great history. It had been founded in the 1950s by a wonderful man named Orville Butcher. It was a good church with a nationally recognized reputation, but it did have one problem. It had not grown in years. As soon as we arrived in San Diego, my first priority was to meet with each of the staff members to assess their individual abilities. Almost immediately, I discovered why the church had flatlined. The staff were good people, but they weren't strong leaders. No matter what I did with them, they would never be able to take the organization to the place we needed to go. You see, every leader's potential is determined by the people closest to him. If those people are strong, then the leader can make a huge impact. If they are weak, he can't. That's the law of the inner circle. At a conference where I was teaching the law of the inner circle, Ashley Randall of Woodbine, Georgia, came up to me during a break and said, "John, you're right about the power of association with good people. I've competed in a couple of triathlons, and I can testify that I swim, bike, and run better on the day of the race than I do any other day of training. It's because I am surrounded by people who are swimming, biking, and running at a higher level and doing it with me." In just about any arena of life, your potential is impacted by those closest to you. In my book, Developing the Leader Within You, I wrote about how I reviewed my life when I turned 40. I had the desire to keep going to a higher level and to make a greater impact, but I realized that I had leveraged my time as much as I possibly could. It would have been impossible to sharpen the focus on my priorities any more than it had already been. In other words, I could not work harder or smarter. That left me only one choice: learning to work through others. That's the day I truly understood the law of the inner circle. Since then, I have been committed to continually developing my inner circle. I hire the best staff I can find, develop them as much as I can, and hand off everything I possibly can to them. In 1994, I discovered one of the key members of my inner circle. At the time, Enjoy Stewardship Services, the second company that I founded, was about 2 years old, and it wasn't doing very well. It was succeeding in fulfilling its mission of capital campaign consulting, but it wasn't growing fast enough, and as a result, it was losing money. It needed a really good leader. At that time, I decided to go to Seattle to seek advice from Dave Sutherland, an IBM executive with a remarkable marketing background, an intuitive leadership ability, and a great strategic mind. I already knew Dave casually, and he had some experience interacting with ISS, so he was willing to sit down and talk to me as a favor to a friend. Several weeks prior to the meeting, I filled him in on everything I thought he needed to know, and I asked him to think about what he would do if he were the one trying to take the company to the next level. As we sat down in my hotel room in Seattle, he started to lay out an incredible strategy for ISS. He believed in our mission because we had helped his church and pastor earlier that year, and he knew exactly what it would take to move the company to the next level. After he talked for about 30 minutes, that's when it hit me. Dave is the guy who needs to lead this company. When I told Dave I wanted him to come and work for me, at first he didn't take me seriously, and I thought I knew why. I didn't have much to offer him. He was one of the top guys in the country for IBM in the marketing arena, and all I had was a small company and a dream. But because of the law of the inner circle, I knew that my potential and that of my organization would skyrocket if Dave became a part of my team. When I offered to give him my ISS salary if he came on board as the company's president, he finally realized how serious I was. And though it meant taking a big pay cut, Dave did take the job. Today, ISS is the fastest growing company of its type and the second largest capital campaign consulting firm in the United States. It has gone to a whole new level thanks to Dave Sutherland. And not only that, Dave brings his strategic thinking and marketing savvy to the table for all four of my companies. Dave Sutherland is only one of a dozen or so key players that I've added to my inner circle. I've been strategically building that group for more than 10 years, ever since my 40th birthday. Iacocca says that success comes not from what you know, but from whom you know and how you present yourself to each of these people. There's a lot of truth in that. I must say that I'm blessed with an incredible team, but I'm not finished yet. I'll continue building and adding good people for another decade or longer. You see, I know I have more potential that I haven't yet reached, and if I want someday to get there, I've got to surround myself with the best people possible. That's the only way it will ever happen. That's the law of the inner circle.